Just that he eat too much testosterone, so that's why she's a
Oh.
princess with a beard. So check this out. In the next, how about say 40 minutes, 50 minutes, probably 1 hour. That depends how many people there's inside. You're
Okay.
gonna learn about the Mayas. Let's start since the beginning. This is the tree of the life for the Mayas, as the Mayas call la ceiba. It's a cotton tree. Muy bien. Over there at the top, you barely can see some cotton right now. Basically, this was the tree of the life for the Mayas. That the root represents Xibalba, 9 levels down, equals to the underworld. The trunk represents humans, and the branches 13 main gods that the Mayas used to believe. Muy bien. Talking about the Mayan history, basically the Mayans, there are 3,184, 48 years before Jesus Christ. So that means that they were believers. Muy bien. Not like Justin Bieber believers. They were believers like they were believers of modern age. Muy
Yeah.
bien. They were a little superstition people. Muy bien. They didn't get the concept of a sin. So basically they believe also in sacrifices. They thought that if you get sacrificed, basically once you're die, your soul that is gonna get inside to this tree, and basically you'll go directly to the heaven. Muy bien. The difference is when you are basically just a human, and when you die, your soul get inside to this tree, and you have to defeat 13 gods, so you can reincarnate. Muy bien.
Oh,
So
okay.
that's why, according in the Mayan history, the people that get sacrificed, they can reincarnate suddenly. Of course, the cosmovision of the Mayans, it was birth, life, death, and reincarnation. Muy bien, familia. A lot of people say that the Mayas came from outer space. Muy bien. And we don't know the exactly history, but as we know, thanks to science, DNA, and features, is that the Mayans, I am Mayan descendants, we are descendants of Asians that actually Mongolians crossed the Bering Strait a long time ago through Alaska, Canada, States, Mexico, and they spread over. For example, in this peninsula of Yucatan or in this Mexican area, okay, of Quintana Roo, when a baby Mayan borns, they get a bruise in their back that calls the Mongolian spot. It's on the eyes, high cheekbones. We don't pronounce R, we don't pronounce F in our language. Muy bien. And as a funny fact, one of the most common last names is Chan, Chan, like Jackie Chan.
Oh.
Muy bien. Yes, kind of cool.
Okay.
The Mayans basically come from Nicaragua, Honduras, Guatemala, Salvador, Belize, and 5 states of Mexico. Muy bien. They used to row by canoes to this island and get married. Why the Mayans at that time they didn't get married in their own countries or cities? Because coming here to Cozumel, it was a pilgrimage that they must do, rowing be against current, against wind with the same person for 17 hours. So that was the biggest commitment of love, as we call marriage. Muy bien. The Mayas, they decided Cozumel, it have to be the chosen spot so they can get married and they can celebrate something as we call honeymoon. Muy bien, familia.
Sí.
Do you like this briefing?
Yeah.
Muy bien, familia. We are just starting. This is the whole archaeological site. Muy bien. Basically, San Gervasio is not the real name. The real name is Tantun, that means over the rock. Muy bien. Who was San Gervasio? Or basically, in the 1900s, it was a Spaniard that called Gervasio Novello, that he bought this property for a ranch. When he discovered this place, when he cleaned, he discovered Mayan sites. And you know, and now in these days we say finders keepers. Muy bien.
Yeah.
So he started to excavate, dynamite, take the treasures from this place. So that's but today we're just gonna see like a leftovers of the Mayan culture. Muy bien, familia. Thanks God, in 1984, they make a foundation here in Mexico that calls National Institute of Anthropology and History, or La INA. Thanks to this foundation, right now all the archaeological sites in Mexico, they're protected as a federal parks. Muy bien, familia. In Mexico, 32 states. Muy bien. Of course, there's Toltecs, Olmecs, Tlaxcaltecas, Mixtecas, Aztecas, Mayans, and many more.
More, yeah.
Muy bien. Of course, 22, there are still spoken their dialects, and Mayan is one of them. Muy bien. Malopkin in Lakech y Makiwo. Basically, muy buenos días, good morning to everyone. hermanos or brothers, sisters. Muy bien. And thank you very much to choose this activity in a few words. Muy bien. Our mother language, Mayan. Second language, Espanol. And third language, broken English. Muy bien. So now I will show you where you have to pay another fee.
Yeah, because we paid half there.
This is 90 pesos. This is an orchid that actually inside this orchid there is an owl. Esto es un tecolote o como le dicen, un búho. ¿Se puede ver?
Oh. Do you guys see that?
There's an orchid upside down.
Yeah.
But over here you can see an owl. Can you see the owl inside?
Yeah.
Cool, huh? It's like an owl.
Ooh, decent.
For the Mayans, the owl, it was not just wisdom. It was like a pure bird.
Well,
Now in these days, there's some people in traditions that they believe that when you see an owl, you have to like curse them. You have to say, hey, you go away. And you start saying bad words, so they go away because suppose that owls they predict that someone is gonna die, and then it's looking for a partner for that.
Yeah, because even the Native Americans in the United States, they have something with the owl's eyes that they don't show.
La tumba. Once we're here, check this out. La tumba. La tumba or the tomb. Over here you can read a little bit Spanish, Mayan, and English. Muy bien, great. And in the Mayans, no R, no F. Only Herbacio, you're gonna find an R. That is a proper name. Muy bien. This is La Tumba because they found a hollow secret chamber where the archaeologists get inside and they discover a skeleton. Muy bien. If you follow me this way,
So this is like a tomb.
you are gonna
Jem, watch your step.
realize that it's like quite a white lot of for one person only. This person, and as a speculation, we believe that he was the ruler of this place, as the Mayas call Halachwinik. Could you pronounce Halachwinik?
Halachwinik.
Halachwinik means the man that who knows everything. Muy bien. For the Mayas, it was like how to say, knowledge. It was power.
Yeah.
Power it was for the top classes. Muy bien. This guy he was found buried with a head in the east and feet in the west. The sun rises by the east, sun sets by the west. Muy bien.
okay.
And that's how basically we know that he got a good life. Muy bien. Noble classes that were buried also like that. Of course, he was surrounded with semi-precious stones, chocolate and honey also. Muy bien. Chocolate for the Mayans, it was basically the dinero. It was the exchange currency. Muy bien. Choco hot, atl means bitter. So you have been speaking Mayan since long time ago. Muy bien. Chocolate was discovered in the Mayan area. Muy bien.
Okay.
Basically, when the Spaniards arrived, the Mayas, they thought they were gods. They give them the sacred beverage that it was drank in special ceremonies related with marriage and related with the gods. Muy bien. So that's why when these Spaniards, they start to export the chocolate, cocoa bean to Spain, basically they named to this tree Theobroma cacao, that means the food from the gods. Muy bien. Now we know once you eat chocolate, there is like a chemical reaction in your brain that goes theobromine. Theobromina give you pleasure. Muy bien. So basically, you drank and you feel happy. If you got a bad day, sometimes I got a bad day, I go on home, I go to the grocery store, buy 5 pounds of chocolate ice cream, right home, close the doors, close the windows, put a movie with my daughter, my wife, eat chocolate, and then suddenly everything.
It's good.
The bad thing goes away. Muy bien. Basically, when the Spaniards they drank and they eat the chocolate, they didn't like too much the taste, but they like what happened in their bodies. Muy bien.
The reaction.
Of course, it's until 1800s the secret of chocolate it was shared with the rest of Europe. And then, well, according to statistics that you can Google this, muy bien, Germany are the first people to make a chocolate bar because they add milk. Muy bien, and then Poland, Belgium, Switzerland, France, European size. But the chocolate was discovered in Mexico.
Okay.
Great. So this was the temple of the ruler. And over here, this was a tomb of the ruler, sorry, and this is the temple of this ruler. How do we know it's a temple? Simple. 2 main rounder pillars that represent sun and moon. all the Mayan cities that you visit at the future, 200 pillars means sun and moon. Now the four square columns at front, uno, dos, tres, and speculation, four faces of the moon, great. Four seasons of the year,
Yeah.
muy bien. But represents basically birth, life, death, and reincarnation, muy bien. And the small door over there is basically humble and respect. Like this was the temple of the ruler of this area. Muy bien. Important Mayans from another city states. Before to see the ruler, you know what they have to do?
Go
They
through
have to
the-
show us humble and they have to
Go
bow
through.
and get inside. Muy bien. According to the anthropology that we study the human behavior, the Mayas they eat deers, pheasants, pigs, iguanas, crocodiles, fish, and a lot of gracias. Gracias, bro. And a lot of lobster in this area. Poor Mayans. We've been good protein with corn, squash, and beans, so they got like probably my size. They weren't that small. Muy bien. The small door represents respect. Muy bien. Over here you're gonna see red hands. This is rojo carcámico. Muy bien. Basically, is a mineral that calls matita. Muy bien. That this mineral is basically boiled with different animals' greases, and that's how they got this red that looks like blood, but it's not blood. Muy bien. This hands been here an average of 1,200 years. Muy bien. This red hands means life. So that's how we know that in this island it wasn't sacrificed. Muy bien. Plus, they have found a lot of bones. On all of these bones show like being tortured or being
Okay.
sacrificed. Muy bien. The blue at the bottom, basically blue means nobility, so that's how we know it was the ruler of this place temple. Muy bien. In this area of Yucatan, the blue is taken from a bark of a tree. Muy bien. That calls basically palo de tinte. This bark of the tree gets submerged in the water from the cenotes, sinkholes. They got minerals, a lot of minerals. So thanks to these minerals, they make a reaction that turns the water to blue.
Okay.
Cool, huh?
Yeah.
Right? And the most important thing that you must know is that the Mayans, they glue the rocks in base of limestone, water, trees, and chewing gum.
And chewing
How?
gum.
In big ovens. They cook a lasagna with two ingredients. First, firewood, limestone, firewood, limestone, firewood, limestone, all the way up. They stack the oven. When they cook all that, they got these ashes that we call cal. It have
Cal,
to be,
yeah.
it have to be burned in like a 1,000
Degrees?
degrees. Muy bien, so it have to be like very red. Muy bien.
Okay.
Once this limestone gets very red, hot red, they threw cold water and cracks and became to this kind of ashes and powder. Muy bien, and then they add the most important ingredient that is chewing gum sap. There is a tree of chewing gum that calls chico zapote. If you scratch this tree, you got a sap. If you cook the sap and you stir, you got this gum. And if you mix all these ingredients, you got what we call a stock.
Stockholm, okay.
Or Mayan gum.
Yeah,
I don't know how you're gonna call it. And of course, basically everything was hand polished. Muy bien. This is basically like the structure of this temple. Muy bien. Everything was hand polished, very smooth. Muy bien. Over here we can see a lot of effort and a lot of tears. Muy bien.
Yeah.
What I believe is that the people that develop or they build these places, they were that happy. Muy bien. Of
Yeah.
course, in the Mayan history, we know that they were slaves and they were also servants. They were paid also in base of chocolate, muy bien, and some minerals. We don't know the whole history.
No,
of
yeah,
course,
yeah.
But unless I wanna tell you everything that I know. Muy bien, familia.
Yeah.
You're having fun? Great. Something very interesting. Muy bien. You're always gonna find the number 4, the number 7, and the number 13 in different Mayan sites, the Kabbalistic numbers. If we count first the tomb, that is 6 steps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 steps. 4 columns at front equals to 10. 2 pillars 12, and the main door 13, which represents 13 full moons on a year, which represents 13 main gods for the Mayans, and represents also 13 joints that we got here. And of course, the Mayas, they believe in 12 constellations plus the Fuco, that it was, how to say, el domador de serpientes, the serpent domator, I don't know how
Okay.
to call it. but I don't know how it's translation in English, but basically the Mayas they believe in this Efiuco. Muy bien, that it was equals like the to me kind of like the feather serpent that is Kukulkan or the god
Cool.
of the
Yeah.
wind for the
Okay.
Mayas or Quetzalcoatl in the Aztec time. Muy bien, cool,
Yeah.
huh? Muy bien. Any questions?
Do you
No?
guys have any questions? No.
Perfecto. Vamos. Let's move on. Did you spray box spray?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfecto.
That's did you say?
Do you came in a cruise?
Yes.
Oh, this is a garrobo gray iguana. This gray iguana basically is a male. How do we know it's a male? Because they got spikes, little spikes right now. It's a young male, and they got this Adam's apple.
Okay.
The woman, they don't got this.
The spikes.
Have you ever heard all the roads leads to Rome?
Yes.
Okay. This is a representation of the Mayan freeways, or like the Mayas they call sagdes. The Mayas they built this type of freeways, and they were connected to each city. Muy bien. They found a sagbe that actually connects Guatemala to Campeche, Mexico. 177
Really?
kilometers
Wow.
of sagbe that is even 5 meters high. What does that mean? That even in floating season, muy bien, these Mayans they can keep
Can still
continuing doing
cross.
pilgrimage and doing commerce between cities. Imagine, sometimes they have to walk far away, probably a week. Muy
Wow.
bien. The Mayas they didn't get cows, mules, donkeys. So what they eat or what they used to drink a lot, it was pozol. That it was what we call Mayan Red Bull. In base of corn seeds crush and cocoa bean crush, mix it with water, they drank that, and that's how they can walk long distances. Because the cocoa bean give you a lot of energy, like a cold brew, and the corn basically feeds you and give you energy, like a kind of pre-worker. Muy bien. Cool, huh? The once we are here, this is Chichana little house. It's a speculation. We truly believe that it was like a little steam bath for the señoritas. For the Mayan señoritas, it was very important have a ritual in base of cleaning oro, like a temazcal, or basically it was like a detox. How to say detox ritual in base of copal, that it was a sacred incense for the Mayans at that time. Basically burning incense, it was the biggest expression to worship gods, because the steams of the incense goes all the way up where the gods are. So once they inhale the breath from the gods, probably they're gonna be ready and they're gonna have the strength so they can start a family or procreate. For the señoritas, it was very important eat really well and be strong. Why? Because at the Mayan time, or 1500 years ago, on average, these Mayans they have to have, you know, between 14 to 35-year-old, they must have like between 8 to 15 kids.
Wow.
See. This is the back part of the temple. Right? Only one main room where the ruler was. The four columns up front, they were entrances where the people stays just outside, and only another important person they can get inside to see the ruler. Muy bien, familia.
Yeah.
Once we are here, this is dragon fruit. This is how dragon fruit looks like. Right? Over here we don't see how big they are because the birds they eat it. This is a hive where you're gonna find the stingless bee. Is the local bee. It looks like a fly. This is stingless bee or abeja melipona bee, produce only 1 liter of honey per hive each year. Muy bien. Is the Mayan bee in a few words. Great. So that's why the Mayas they say that honey it was basically to how to say, like a nice offering. Very expensive offering, by the way. Muy bien, those ones that give something sweet to their gods, like honey, are those ones that are going to receive something sweet from them as many blessings. Muy bien. When the Spaniards they arrived, they realized that Mayas they got bees, but these bees they doesn't produce honey and too much honey
Yeah.
for their pancakes. So they brought the apis bee That is the European beach. This is a cenote. Have you ever heard about cenotes?
No.
No, sinkholes.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Muy bien, sinkholes. For the Mayas, no rivers, no lakes, no waterfalls. So sinkholes they were very important. The reason why the Mayas they chose all this area because they found more than 80 different type of cenotes or sinkholes that they were the first sources of water. Muy bien. When the Mayans at that time they believed that the cenotes they were the center of the universe. You know what they start to do? They start to do offerings to the cenotes. And in Chichen Itza, that is 4 hours away from here, they did sacrifices of señoritas and little kids, throwing these people in the cenotes. Muy bien. Talking about the Mayan time, probably like they would have the superstitions. People, basically, if something bad happens, for example, no rain, they say that the gods they must be pleasant with human blood or sacrifices. Muy bien. In another how to say, in another part of the Maya history, the Mayas also they did sacrifices. Muy bien. If they born in the August month for the Mayans, that is, it was between 8th of August to 12th of August. That it was these chosen men that they can play Pok-Tapok. Muy bien. Pok-Tapok was a game with 2 different walls pointing north to south, ring score pointing east to the east to the west, and 7 Mayans in each team. Basically, all these Mayans they pass the rubber ball to the captain using their knees, their hips, their elbows, their shoulder. And the captain that he wins, he have to get his head cut off or he have to be sacrificed. Oh. For the Mayan gods, they want the best. So that's why the captain of the team that he wins have to be sacrificed. Really? It was an honor at that time. Oh. Of course, now in these days, we believe that that's the reason why Mexico never win a World Cup, because they don't want to.
They don't want to sacrifice their best player.
This is what we call metate. Have you ever heard about mortar and pestle?
Who?
Mortar and pestle, molcajete.
No.
This is where they smash all these ingredients.
Oh, molcajete, yeah.
Molcajete. We call it metate, where it's like a wok with a stone. So that they can eat guacamole. They used to make pozole. They used to make a sikil pack that it was onion, tomato, cilantro, pumpkin seeds crushed, and basically with a handmade tortilla and some dashes of how to say a lemon with habanero pepper. I'm starving now. Anyway, familia, because over there they found more than 20 metates. We believe that this was the place where they make a feast. Muy bien. This is a house divided by 3 different sections: house, patio, and a private temple. Muy bien. So basically, in this place, the local Mayas they make a feast. For all these Mayas, they stay over here to have a honeymoon and celebrate life. Muy bien, of course, a private temple with 2 ovens inside. That over there, probably the Mayas they make medicines, they make beverage, so they can drink, they can be happy, enjoy, get high. Muy bien.
Yeah.
And that's how they get connected to their gods. Muy bien. In this patio, the Mayas they dance a lot to the music. Muy bien. Blowing conchos, flutes.
The flutes.
And of course, drums. Muy bien, familia. Of course, with the time, nature takes over, so these rocks they're being shifted.
Yeah.
And it was a smooth long time ago, covered with abalone shell. Over here, 2 entrance, first entrance living room, second entrance bedroom. Muy bien. What happened over here? These first Spaniards that came to the island, they start to take these rocks so they can build their houses. Just one piece of stone is like my arm. Muy bien. So against June to November that we got a lot of hurricanes, taking these rocks to build your house, probably it was like a strong house against the hurricanes. Where are you coming from, by the way?
Colorado.
Colorado. Well, over there you don't got hurricanes, right?
No, tornadoes.
Tornadoes? Whoa, those are awful.
Yeah.
Even the hurricanes you get how to say, prepare.
You could prepare. Yeah, not with tornadoes.
Tornadoes is like a boom.
Yeah.
Well, but Colorado is a nice place, right?
It's nice. Tiene sus 4 temporadas. Mucho nieve, mucho agua, mucho granizo, mucho sol, todo.
Mucha mota.
También.
Pero yo tengo unos amigos en Silverthorne.
Oh, in Silverthorne. Oh, okay.
They come over here every season, every winter season.
Yeah.
because well they like to ski, but they take like a week.
Yeah,
They can come.
yeah, para descansar, tomar un break del frío y de la nieve.
Está frío. Over
Yeah.
here, the minimum it drops 70 Fahrenheit,
Wow.
and everybody is having like a sun. And we're freezing. Familia, behold! This is basically one of the freeways that the Mayas built. For example, this one goes straight ahead 5 miles to the northwest. That is what we call the Silver River, where the Mayas they left their canoes, muy bien, and they walk through this path until they arrive to this area of the island. Muy bien, familia. Long time ago, it was a base, limestone cover. I mean, a limestone base covered with sand and a seashell that goes Abuloni. Muy bien. Look at this. This is Abuloni. Muy bien. Ta-da! It's like nothing. But check this out. If you smash this a little piece, right? You got basically. Está acá, bro. ¿Quieres un poquito? Basically, this is the abalone shell. That if you smash it, right? You don't have to you don't need too many. ¿Cómo se dice? Fuerza.
You don't need a lot of strength
You
to.
don't need a lot of strength. So basically, you just smash it, and then well, basically you got the abalone shell. Muy bien. And it was very shiny, so that's why the Mayas they call it the sparkling road or the white road, because
Okay.
in the full moon, this white road basically
Brilla.
looks like a fire, and the predators they stay away.
Yeah, so they use that shiny, and when the moon hits it at night, it would glow kind of.
According to the Mayan beliefs, their gods they provide and they protect. Okay? So just imagine between the thick jungle, probably you see these eyes like the jaguar.
Yeah.
¿Cómo se dice? I will get scared. But the Mayas they feel protected.
Yeah. See, yeah, they felt like that the gods were protecting them with this road, and you could see it in the night.
So check this out. This arch represents fertility. Okay, let's count. 1,
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13.
13. Muy bien, 13 represents 13 full moons on a year.
Yeah.
Muy bien, the Mayas they count their months in base of 20 days. Why 20 days? Because 10 fingers and 10 toes. Cool, huh? The interesting part that if you multiply 13 times 20 is equals to 260 days for 9 months that you can have a baby child and you can harvest twice corn. So for the Mayans, crossing this arch, it was a breakthrough in the different areas of their life. For example, if they need a lot of babies, come over here please. If they need a lot of babies, what they need, right? Well, start a family. So if they come over here to the island to get married, according to their beliefs or faith, the moon goddess is the one that is gonna give this fertility. Muy bien. If you got a family of like 15 members, you need to supply them with a lot of food.
Yeah.
So once you're right here, you go back home, all your crops they're gonna be healthy, and you're gonna have a lot of avocados. So you might get your guacamole to you. Muy bien, familia. Cool, huh? Over there, straight ahead to me, is another settlement that is 300 meters, equals to 2 blocks. Muy bien, this is according to you. Would you like to go over there, or we go directly to the main plaza where they get
No, you
married?
got flip flops. No, we could stay over here because, and these bugs are gonna be worse over there.
Ah, sí, cierto, bro. Gracias.